as always, thank you everyone for putting in the time, logging in today and joining this webinar. And, hopefully we can answer any questions you have right away. If not, we'll follow up on it afterwards. But I want to take this opportunity first to basically do a quick overview of our roadmap, which we just published publicly online, and it's available. You can look it up in detail. But I just want to give a quick overview of our roadmap and upcoming features. Now, in the meantime, feel free to use the questions panel in GoToWebinar to submit any questions you have, and we'll either get to it during the presentation or right afterwards. So you may have got this straight from the website. You may have seen this on our website already, and it basically lists all of our Silverlight products and what we plan to do with it to work on and add features and so on. So starting with the DX Treeless Control. So this is, if you recall, when I posted the announcement for the DX Grid Control, the new grid control for Silverlight, which we had just ported over from WPF by merging the code bases and going forward with our XPF initiative. One of the benefits to that was that we're going to have a this unified code base is also going to help us deliver features quicker, deliver new products quicker. So in this case, the Treeless is one of those products, and this is being shipped simultaneously for both Silverlight and WPF. So in version 11.1, we'll see the first release of this product. Now, something I skipped over earlier up here is throughout the year, we're going to have for all of our Silverlight as well as WPF products, we're going to do a lot of design time enhancements. Now, what does that mean? It's basically going to be one of the biggest highlights in our product line, and it means that we're going to focus on improving the design time experience for developers in both Visual Studio 2010 as well as Expression Blend. So we're going to work on Expression Blend design time support as well, which is something that we don't really have in this current version. So, and also we're going to have theme improvements. Now that's an umbrella term. It's we're going to work on methods of creating themes and customizing them. I mean, more details to come later. I don't want to get too technical on the theming part in this session. Now, with regards to the Treeless, it's going to be the first release, and then we're going to improve it in the second release as well. Now, this is going to apply to both the Silverlight and the WPF versions. Now, for the grid control, we're going to introduce something called smooth scrolling. Now, that's what it actually does. Whether or not we come up with a name for it, that's to be decided. But basically, it provides a nicer scrolling, runtime scrolling experience for end users. The instant feedback UI is being, it's the same idea that we have in our extra grid for WinForms. So it's the same feature being implemented on the Silverlight and WPF grid controls as well. RIA services support, we're going to extend that and complete it. Right now we have the data binding, so we're going to extend that and support all of the RIA services functions. And we're going to have the search panel. Again, this is something that brings our grid closer to feature parity with the WinForms grid. Not completely, but that's one step at a time. So we're going to have the search panel at the top as well. So in the second release, we'll have master detail view, card view, which already exists in our WPF grid. So that's going to be added to the Silverlight grid as well. Banded and layout view, and then the date column filter as well. Now, anything that's green on this roadmap here, you can find this on the website too. Anything that's colored green means it's going to be a new product, and then anything that's blue, it's at least for this platform, anything that's blue, it's going to be a feature addition or feature improvement. to said product. So in this case, the DX editors, you'll notice the progress bar is green. Now when I switch over to the WPF one, you'll see that the progress bar is missing from there. That's because our WPF suite already has a progress bar editor. So it's going to be we're going to introduce the progress bar for Silverlight, a grid search lookup control in the first release. The second one, we'll have 3 more new editors: a font picker, a hyperlink editor, and a time editor. We're going to look into creating an MRU lookup editor, a most recently used text box essentially. And when we say research, it means we're going to look into use cases as to how it can be best implemented, not just put one out there and say, this is what we think of, this is what we think you should do with it, as opposed to what's actually useful to the developer. DX docking, new features, improvements. We're going to have MDI support. Again, this goes across both Silverlight and WPF. And we're going to have further enhancements, little performance and code improvements to the control as well. DX layout control. We're going to have a data aware layout control, and we're going to add a close button to groups, to layout groups, and further enhancements as the second release to improve the quality of the product. Now that means bug fixes, performance, and so on. And the DX ribbon, one of the biggest things, DX ribbon, DX bars, is going to be MVVM and the MVVM demo. Keeping up with the trends and the updates from Microsoft. We're going to have the Office for Mac style, the ribbon style for ribbon control, and we're going to introduce the backstage view as well. So when you click on the that Office button, so to say, from Microsoft Office, you get that backstage view that you get in Office 2010. That was introduced in Office 2010. And in second release, again, further improve the product. But the MVVM demo also should really help provide a solid example of how to use the ribbon in an MVVM setting. The rich edit, we're going to have a document server component, which is essentially going to let you do mail merge and output to different formats. We're going to have table improvements, and we're going to have support for the standard doc format. Right now we support docx, but this is going to be standard, traditional Word document format, if you will. In the second release, we're going to have autocorrect as you type, hyperlink detection, so when you type in a URL, just like in Word or Outlook, it detects it and underlines it and gives it the attributes of a hyperlink. And you can have section and paragraph borders as well. Now with the DX scheduler, it's going to be ported over to Silverlight from WPF. And in the second release, we'll add a date navigator and a year view to the Silverlight version as well. Now in the WPF side of things, if you take a quick look at it, see the roadmap changed just a little bit. I mean, the DX scheduler is already there, so we're going to add these new views here. And what else changed? We don't have a card view, and the grid control, well, we have it already, so it's not going to be implemented as a new feature. It's already in the current version. And that is pretty much it. I mean, the roadmap is pretty much identical because of the code similarities and the shared code base. So with that said, it's pretty much I'm going to go back to the first slide, and if you have any questions, any comments, concerns, submit them now, and we'll try to get those addressed.
Awesome, thanks, Emil. We don't have any questions popping up right at the moment, but
well, that is a very good sign, because that means our products are so well built that there are no questions. That's gives me a sense of pride.
Let's see. While we're waiting, let me just let everyone know that we have a lot going on this week. starting tomorrow, we have Steve Lange from Microsoft is doing a Team Foundation Server for Developers webinar. Steve is a developer technology specialist for Microsoft. Microsoft Team Foundation Server reaches all disciplines of the development lifecycle: project managers, testers, developers, business analysts, and management. This session focuses on what TFS means to the developer. We'll cover the fundamentals of the TFS version control system and its seamless integration with work item tracking and automated build, highlighting how TFS can improve project visibility without adding overhead to the developer. And Wednesday, February 23rd, we have another Ask the Team, Ask DevExpress, with the reporting team and reporting evangelist Seth Juarez. And then Thursday is a triple webinar day, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, building document-based systems with Ayende Ibrahim. In this webcast, we'll explore building document-based systems on top of the Raven DB document database for .NET and explore the different modeling requirements, the trade-offs, and the benefits of using a document-based approach for modeling our systems. And then, Emil, you're back at 10 a.m., correct? With using DevExpress controls to build a ribbon UI and dockable panels in Silverlight.
That is correct. So basically on Thursday, what we'll look at is we'll have an application already built. Let's take a Word style application, pretty much using dockable panels and a docking layout and a ribbon control. So we'll look at that end result, and then we'll take a step back, start implementing that in WPF, and after everything's said and done, look at how we can port that from WPF to Silverlight, all out using our controls. So that would be pretty cool on Thursday.
Cool. All right, so I still don't see any questions coming up. So yeah, maybe we covered it.
Well, let's give it about 5 more minutes, I'd say.
Okay. Let's see, and then also on Thursday, Steve Lang is back from Microsoft with Visual Studio 2010 testing, and Friday is MVC with Mohul Harry. So if you want to register for those webinars, obviously go to devexpress.com/webinars and click on register.
Absolutely, and the MVC webinar was rescheduled, I believe, last time, so that's something I'm personally looking forward to, so make sure you register and look into that as well.
All right, you have a question. Do you see that?
Oh, there's a question. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's close. Let's see.
I'll read it if you want me to. Let's see. Just to give you some background to help you frame my question, I'm really quite new to WPF development. I come from WinForms/database development primarily. With that being said, I'm trying to understand if I'm supposed to implement an MVVM in my applications to leverage the power of DevExpress controls.
Okay. Here's the thing: you're not supposed to, and you are not forced to, and you don't really have to implement MVVM to basically do WPF or Silverlight development. Here's the thing: I personally have most of my experience in WinForms as well. So basically, if you're developing an application and you don't want to take the learning curve to understand any of these paradigms, you can just as well use events and use code behind, use code to leverage the controls as well, and our controls work perfectly fine with that too. So it's up to you if you want to have the model and the view model and use that paradigm for your application. It's not a necessity to use our controls. If that answers your question. Hold on.
Great.
Excellent.
Okay.
And if there are no more questions, we'll probably wrap it up. Amanda, what do you think?
Okay. You burning up in your office?
Yeah. It's up. There's one. No, I have another. Excellent.
Yes. Okay. Where do you draw the line between choosing a WPF or Silverlight application?
Where do you draw the line? Right. Interesting question. it really, with especially with Silverlight 5 supporting multiple windows, and that's coming up, it's going to be a really tough decision, I can imagine, for developers to pick which platform to go with. I, I would say it comes down to, if you have the need to be able to deploy your application on the web quickly, um, you'll have to choose Silverlight, because it was designed as a web-centric platform initially for rich internet applications, and then all these features were added on later. So it's, if you're going to target the web as well and maintain the same experience without taking any special performance hits, or any precautions, I would suggest starting out with Silverlight and then extending that to being your desktop app, if it fits your, if you don't need any direct, lots of direct system access as of, the way the platform is today. But if you have a need for an application that's going to need to reference a lot of system resources, and you don't really have a need to be on the web, then might as well just go with WPF. So right now the line is a little blurred because of the features being extremely similar on both platforms, but it's a matter of whether or not you want to have that easy, smooth web experience as well. So if you need that, you'll need to go with Silverlight. Start out with Silverlight and then build into desktop app later. And I hope that clarifies it. Oh, I'm glad I was able to give you peace of mind. Excellent.
Good answer. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, and we'll see if one pops up here, we will probably wrap this up. Yes, Emil?
That sounds good. I mean, Juan, if you have any further questions, let me paste in my email address here. You can always shoot me an email, and we can chat there later and follow up on other issues. There we go. DevExpress.com. There's my email. So if you think of anything else, any of the attendees after this event, just shoot me an email and we'll discuss this offline.
Emil, I'm going to read. Just in case people are copy and pasting that. You left out the R in DevExpress.
Ah, okay.
I reposted it for you.
All right, Express it is. Thank you, Amanda.
Of course. All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Emil, very much. And let's see, Juan. Okay. Thank you for being here, Juan, of course. And like I said, we have a ton of webinars coming up this week. Emil will be back on Thursday with another Silverlight webinar on using DevExpress controls to build a ribbon UI and dockable panels. So check that one out. And you can register for all our webinars at devexpress.com/webinars. And again, if you missed anything from this webinar, like what's coming up with the roadmaps, and you want to review any previous webinars, visit us at the DevExpress channel at tv.devexpress.com. Again, thank you, Emil. Thank you to the team for being here. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for choosing DevExpress.